How many dead-end jobs do you gotta work before you finally start your business? Do you realize I've had literally 50 jobs, give or take? Working your tail off to make someone else rich. It's time you get it. You gotta see all these jobs I had. Check it out. Technically, my first job was cutting grass with my dad when I was like 12, but my first place of employment was a restaurant right here. They fired me because a cuss word slipped out of my mouth in front of the whole restaurant. When I was underage, I begged this auto care center to give me a job cash under the table for like $6 an hour. And after a while, they wouldn't even give me a $1 raise, so I quit. And at the same time I worked here, I had 2 jobs when I was 14 making pizzas, and I got fired. I waited tables here for about 4 months. I worked at this auto care center for 6 months. Spent a month here. Guess who was dropping fries here for 3 months? Saved up for my first car bussing tables here. I plowed snow every winter for 15 years. I even used to plow this mall. I used to detail cars here for $9.50 an hour. It was one of the worst jobs I ever had, bro. Back when this was a deli, I worked here for like $8 an hour. I quit my second day. I worked here for a year as a porter, sweeping the shop. Man, I quit. Got fired from this place. Worked here for a month. I worked here for a few months, waiting tables, and when they made mistake orders, instead of throwing in the garbage, I'd run in the bathroom and eat it. I also made subs and pizzas here, but that only lasted a month. I used to do music, so I got a job here. Then I worked here installing car alarms and radios. I quit. It took me a month to get in this job, and I quit by noon the first day. I was a dishwasher here for 5 months, then I got fired. This used to be a big boy restaurant I worked at. Yeah, they fired me. I actually worked at both of these places. I quit them both. I worked as a bar back when this was a restaurant twice, under 2 different sets of management. I shuttled cars at that auto plant for a month. I bar backed here. They wouldn't make me a bartender, so I quit. This used to be a different restaurant. They fired me. I did roofing twice for 2 different companies. I thought because I was a landscaper I could do roofing. This used to be a steakhouse called Mountain Jack's, and I used to wash dishes and busboy here. I needed that money though in the winter. Yo, for years I worked for a lawn care and snow company. This was one of the accounts, bro. All the grass and snow here. Quickly, by the time I was 18, I was running the crew, hiring and firing, and like, dude, it owned my life, but I made good money. I had my own apartment and everything at 18, and it was actually one of the best jobs I ever had. I also worked at like 10 other lawn care businesses. I can't visit them all, so I'm in this field, but lawn care was my life, bro. Quit this restaurant. I was a cook here for a month. I actually worked at 2 different places at the mall here. One winter I worked at a storage unit place. You know, it was boring. So I was so bored, I set up mirrors and I had my beat machine, and a customer came in once and I was straight up pop locked. They're like, I'm like, oh no, I got you. I actually liked this job, but it only lasted 4 months. Yo, I worked at this landscape company here as a foreman, a horticulture foreman. It was one of the best jobs I ever had. And they fired me for making YouTube videos at work, and they should have fired me. What I did was unprofessional. But I went on to become the #1 guy on YouTube of how to start a landscaping business. And after all those jobs, you know what I learned? I ain't cut out for the 9 to 5. I had to start my own landscaping business. Come with me. All those jobs, that was hell. I ain't even lying. That really happened. Do you want to go through all that? Bro, I'm 40 now. You don't have to go through all that. Literally get the right information, do what you want to do, and go after it now. The clock's ticking. I feel fortunate that I made it through all that. You don't have to go through all that. I want you to pick what you want to do. Get all the information that you need. Go find someone else who's done it and focus and achieve it. And go out and do it. Prove to yourself. When is the last time you took a bet on yourself? Are you afraid to bet on yourself? Because when I stopped trying to please all these different people and all these different bosses and all these jobs, and I finally took a bet on myself, my back was against the wall, it worked. This can work for you. You can absolutely do this. Stop thinking of all the reasons why it won't work. I say, what if it does work? Take a bet on yourself. I'm Keith Kelfis. Hit the subscribe button and notifications if you hadn't already. Click the links below.